All right, you guys, I'm gonna show you how to make a art journal by sewing. So you need your cover, you need paper, you need scissors, thread, hole puncher, little piece of paper folded up, and a needle. And I'm gonna show you how to use all of these tools. So first thing you need to do is count 5 pieces of white paper that are found on your table. And what you're gonna do is you're going to stack them all. You can see I have 5. And then you're going to tap it on the table and lightly fold in half. You can press it on the table and press to make a nice even fold. This paper will fit right inside of your cover that you made yesterday. It's already pre-cut to the right size. Now we need to go ahead and start sewing. So once you have your paper in your cover, you're going to take a hole puncher. Now I have 2 types of hole punchers. One looks like this silver one and one looks like this wooden one. They were also used for clay, so they can be a little dusty. So just try to ignore the dust. All right, so I'm gonna take my hole puncher and I'm gonna find the middle of my spine. The spine of the book is this edge. Once I find the middle, I'm going to press it and pull my booklet to press a hole with my needle tool. All right, once I twirl it around a few times, I'm gonna take it out. I've got 1 hole. Then I'm going to find the middle between the hole and the end of my booklet. And again, just press a nice little hole. This part can be a little tough, so just make sure you're taking your time, not stabbing yourself or anybody else. And once I have the hole, I'm twirling my hole puncher to make the hole a little bigger. 1 more hole to go. It's going to be between this middle point and the end of my book on the other side. This does not have to be perfectly placed measurements. I'm twisting my hole puncher to make the hole bigger and releasing. Now it's really careful that you keep your book like this, so I'm gonna lay it flat on the table as I prepare my needle and thread. So with my needle, I am going to take some yarn or some thread. I'm going to place it in this little contraption to make it really easy to thread the needle. I place it in my paper, I fold up my paper, and I use the eye of the needle, which is the part with this little circle, and I thread the paper with my yarn inside through the needle. This is just a little trick I learned because threading a needle can sometimes be a little difficult. Voila, you pull out the paper and you've got a threaded needle, all right? Now, we can't start just yet because I need to take the bottom of my yarn and I need to tie a double knot. This will ensure that the yarn doesn't go through when I sew, so all my hard work doesn't go to waste. Okay. Once I have a double knot, maybe even a triple knot, just to be safe, I'm ready to start sewing. So I'm going to start and make sure I'm holding this little piece of yarn so it doesn't fall through the eye of the needle as I sew. And I'm gonna start in the middle. So I'm going to turn my book around. It doesn't matter if you start from the inside or the outside. I'm gonna start from the outside. So I'm going to poke my needle through the middle hole. It's a little hard to see. That goes all the way through the middle. Then I just need to pull my needle through. Takes a little bit of muscle. Pull it all the way through until it stops because of that knot I just tied. Okay? See this knot? Pulled tight. Now I can either go to this hole or this hole. It doesn't really matter. But the next step is to go to one of these 2 holes. And you're gonna go back to the outside of the booklet. Pull tight. Once I flip, I need to go back through the middle hole where my knot is. And this part can get a little bit tricky. But just making sure every time I'm pulling tight so that I know my booklet will be secure. So now I have a stitch from the inside. Also, I have a stitch on the outside. Now just to do the other side. I'm gonna go through this hole. Pull tight. Notice I don't have any thread on the outside. That's because I'm not looping around when I pull my string out to go back through to the other side. And finally, back through the middle. If this starts to happen to you, don't panic. Just loosen up the thread a little bit. Oops. And pull tight. Now I just need to tie off my final thread into a knot. So that all of my hard work and all of my sewing does not go to waste. Once you have a nice secure knot in the middle of your journal, you can cut the excess thread. Make sure you put all your materials back, and there you have a nice sewn art journal. Pages don't fall out, and you just practice bookmaking.